But regardless of where you are on your journey, you deserve to be informed. And so, like I said, I'm glad that the topic of the synthetic braiding hair is getting a lot more attention, so that you ladies and gentlemen out there can be fully aware of what you're exposing yourself to, and decide if that's the path that you want to go. And again, the products, because we are interacting with them much more often than we are adding synthetic hair to our heads. Most of us anyway.
Speak like you love yourself. Think like you love yourself. Eat like you love yourself. And care for your natural hair like you love yourself.
So recently there's been a lot more conversation about the toxic and carcinogenic chemicals found in synthetic braiding hair. And while I am elated and sad at the same time that this issue is getting more awareness, human hair is not exempt, by the way. I want to make sure that y'all know that. Those hairs are treated too, and even the ones that are labeled virgin, so just be aware of that. But we need to know and be informed consumers about the hair, the things that we're adding to our hair, just simply to get a hairstyle, and what that means for our overall health, right? So I'm glad that people are talking more about this.
So let's take a little peekaboo at how this synthetic braiding hair is made. And it really doesn't matter which base chemicals we're discussing. Most times they combine them. But what you need to know is that all of them are various types of thermoplastic polymers, okay? And all of them have been found to emit volatile organic compounds. And the short end of it is that VOCs are known carcinogens. And so you really want to think about if this is something you want to continue to expose yourself to, how often. Now, human hair, even though it isn't made from toxic substances itself, it is treated with toxic substances, because remember, this hair has to survive travel and warehouse storage conditions. So they are using pesticides on this hair. They are using lice medication on this hair. A lot of times they're even coloring this hair and calling it virgin. And I would know, because a great deal of my work behind the chair was color work. One of my primary specialties was hair color. So there are several undisclosed chemicals, even in human hair, that are toxic to your health and the environment. And so now you guys know, and you have some decisions to make.
I do want to make sure that we understand that compound cumulative toxin exposure is what we really should be focusing on. And so what does that mean? It means that we live in a world where we have to pick our poisons, unfortunately, unless we are going to completely and totally align with everything that the Creator has created, Mother Nature has created. We are in a man's world that has required us to pick our poisons. There are very few things that are synthetic and man-made that are not toxic to our overall health and the planet. And I want to make sure that we are all aware of that. So it means that there's toxins in so many things, braiding hair being one of them. And, we all have to decide where we fall on the health scale as to how much we want to expose ourselves. I do want to say that as a retired master cosmetologist and braider for over 25 years braiding, the exposure for braiders is much more for the client, because we are seeing multiple heads a day, multiple people a week, whereas the client may be getting the hair done every few months or so on and so forth, right? But you're going to decide how much you want to expose yourself based on, where you are with your priority for your overall health, right? And while we're here, though, I do want to make sure that the larger concern is also brought to the forefront, and it's the reason why I wrote my ebook some 2 years ago now, or is it 3? I think it was 2023. Yeah, so 2 years now. And that's these ingredients in these hair products. You're touching them, you're absorbing them through your skin, your scalp. They are sticking onto your hair for days and weeks at a time. And these hair products contain a lot of ingredients that are also very toxic and loaded with carcinogens. And so I will put a few in here just so that you can be considerate of that as well as you move forward in your hair care journey.
In this video, I'm covering the top 5 toxic ingredients that are found in most natural hair products. Not some of them, but most of them. You can find the video here on my channel. I will do my best to link it for you in the description so that you can get the details on the toxicity of these ingredients there.
Journey, right? Whether you're natural, relaxed, textured, straight, it applies for all of us, even though my work is focused on highly textured natural hair. So these toxins are everywhere. The more you expose yourself, the higher you increase your chances of developing sickness, irritation, and disease. It really is that simple.
Now, this is the part where I remind y'all that it took a 22-year study for them to confirm the link between a relaxer use and the increased rate of development of uterine cancers, okay? Fibroids included. So we don't need a 22-year study. We already know where this train is headed. Get off the track of these toxic natural hair products.
For those of us that place a very, very, very high value on our health, we just don't expose ourselves. We are like, okay, well, the synthetic braiding hair is gone. The processed foods are gone. The, animal fleshes, the alcohol, all of the things that we are aware that are harmful to our health and harmful to all life and harmful to the planet are gone. That's why we make the decisions we make when we place a very, very high value on our health. But regardless of where you are on your journey, you deserve to be informed. And so, like I said, I'm glad that the topic of the synthetic braiding hair is getting a lot more attention so that you ladies and gentlemen out there can be fully aware of what you're exposing yourself to and, decide if that's the path that you want to go. And again, the products, because we are interacting with them much more often than we are adding synthetic hair to our heads, most of us anyway. And so I want to make sure that we have a complete and total conversation about this, and that education and awareness is increased for us all, and that we're all choosing to place a higher priority on our health. There are some healthy options out there in the braiding hair and in the hair products categories, and so you can definitely find some of them in my ebook, but keep following as I'll endeavor to dig more into things that we should be using and that we should be consciously avoiding if we want to maintain good health and prevent disease. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and much blessings and good health until the next one.
Are you ready to begin your holistic health journey? Well, no matter where you are on your path, I have some offerings that are created to support you. From my free fibroid healing guide, Because this is information I believe all women deserve to know, the code for free access is in the product description. To holistic health consultations for those who want to take charge of their health, whether we're talking total body or hair and scalp focused. My ebook, of course, which I thank all of you who have already purchased, and I hope and know that it's serving you well because you guys have been giving me feedback. So thank you for that. My products, of course, are powered by the most ancient of medicines, aromatherapy and crystal therapy. And I'm also looking for affiliates. So head on over to basicopulence.com, check out the offerings. And in the meantime, I'm sending you highest health and blessings.